The town of Darnell's Reach was the kind of place you passed through but never stopped in. Tucked between craggy cliffs and dense pines along the Massachusetts coastline, it was picturesque at a glance. Quaint homes, an old clock tower, and the ever-watchful lighthouse that stood like a sentinel against the Atlantic waves. But if you stayed long enough, you'd notice something off. The hollow eyes behind smiles, the way conversations died when certain names came up, and how, every 10 years, the town held a vigil for someone who never came home. The most recent was Mason Hale, 17 years old, honor student, soccer captain, and the mayor's nephew. He disappeared on September 19th, after texting a friend that he was headed to the cliffs by the old lighthouse. He never made it home. The entire town mobilized. Search dogs, helicopters, candlelight vigils. His mother pleaded on TV. His uncle, Mayor Thomas Hale, vowed to use every resource to find him. But after 10 days everything stopped. The flyers came down. The sheriff's office locked the file. People stopped mentioning Mason's name as if forgetting was part of healing. As if remembering was dangerous. That was when Detective Leah Mercer arrived. She had transferred from Boston just 3 months earlier, seeking refuge after exposing corruption within her own department. Threats against her life had forced her into a quiet relocation program. Darnell's Reach, with its slow pace and quiet streets, was supposed to be a sanctuary. But Mercer didn't believe in coincidences, and she knew silence when it was weaponized. She started asking questions. The townspeople grew uneasy. Sheriff Donald Gray, a tired man in his 60s who'd served nearly 4 decades, warned her to let sleeping ghosts lie. Mercer smiled politely and kept digging. Her instincts told her Mason hadn't simply run away or fallen from a cliff. Something was hidden beneath the town's picturesque facade. In the station's archives, Mercer found Mason's file buried under 3 inches of dust. The case notes were thin. Witness statements were vague. And then something strange, an odd pattern in the historical records. Every 10 years a teenager vanished in early autumn. The names varied. The circumstances changed. But the timing was exact. Each case had been written off. Lost at sea, ran away, suicide. But Mercer saw what others hadn't bothered to. She began, according to a hidden journal, discovered in the basement of the old lighthouse keeper's cabin, the town's leaders had struck a deal. Survivors of the wreck, violent mercenaries fleeing foreign conflict, were sheltered and hidden. In return, the town received a cut of the treasure. The lighthouse became the exchange point. Over time, this turned into a network, black market goods, weapons, people. And when the smugglers demanded silence and loyalty, the town gave it. Willingly. But things changed in the late 70s. The smugglers grew paranoid. A boy, 14, bright, curious, was caught spying near the docks. His body was never found. His death marked the beginning of a new era of control, one offering every 10 years. A blood price, they called it. Mercer uncovered financial records, encrypted ledgers, and coded names that pointed directly to Mayor Hale, Sheriff Gray, the town's wealthiest business owners, even the school principal. Mason, she discovered, had found this same evidence. He had confronted his uncle 2 nights before vanishing. Everything snapped into place. Mercer wasn't reckless. She installed hidden cameras, wore a wire, and used a secure satellite uplink to upload evidence off-site. On the night of October 1st, she followed a hidden trail through the woods to the cliffs, armed and recording. What she saw chilled her blood. A circle of people, dozens of them dressed in dark robes, their faces illuminated by torchlight, stood near the cliff's edge. In the center was a bound figure, another teenager. It wasn't Mason, but another boy reported missing from a nearby town. Mercer moved to intervene, but she was spotted. They overpowered her. She was beaten, tied, and nearly tossed into the sea. It was the mayor himself who stood over her, whispering, "You should have left it alone." Everyone knew. But they said nothing. But Mercer had triggered her uplink before leaving her car. Everything, every word, every face, was being uploaded live to a secure server. The next morning, national news outlets broke the story. SWAT teams descended on Darnell's Reach. The mayor and sheriff were arrested, along with 15 others. Mass graves were uncovered near the lighthouse. Mason's body was never found. Mercer left the town not as a pariah, but as a survivor. She carried scars, both visible and hidden, but also a truth more horrifying than any crime she had ever investigated. In Darnell's Reach, everyone knew, but said nothing. Because sometimes, the silence is the only thing that keeps the monsters fed. Please do well to like and subscribe to my channel, and also comment what you think about the town everybody knows but said nothing.